They told me a shapeshifting robot hack and slash game was dropping, and they slapped an Ubisoft logo on it. My corporate cash grab senses were tingling immediately. But then I looked closer. It's actually a solo indie developer publishing under Ubisoft's indie initiative. So, a passion project wrapped in a publisher money. The question isn't whether it's ambitious. The question is whether the metal is actually morbid or just incredibly rusty. I booted up the Morbid Metal demo, and what I found might actually be the snappy third-person Hades alternative we've been waiting for. Let's set the stage. I press play, and the game immediately hands me a katana. No 10-minute cinematic about the history of the robot wars. No unskippable NPC walking at the speed of smell to tell me about the ancient lore of the microchips. Just me, a robot ninja, and a sword. I check the movement. WASD to move, mouse for the camera, standard stuff. But then I hit the jump button. Okay, double jump, that feels nice. I throw in a dash, it's responsive. I combine the double jump, the dash, and another jump. Suddenly, I'm traversing the map like a Warframe veteran who just drank 4 cans of Red Bull. And then, I find the grapple hook. You can tell within the first 5 minutes if a developer actually plays video games. The movement here, it's incredibly fast. It feels good. It feels snappy. My hopes for this game just skyrocketed. And I haven't even killed anything yet. But the movement is only half the equation. If the combat feels like swinging a wet noodle at the brick wall, we are uninstalling. I log on to the first enemy, the heavy doom-style rock music kicks in, I start swinging. The impacts are solid. But here is where the game actually caught my attention. You can animation cancel your basic attacks with the dodge. This is the holy grail of action combat. It means when I mess up and commit to a heavy swing, I can still react if an enemy winds up an attack. And speaking of winding up, enemies get a giant red indicator over their heads before they swing. If you hit the dodge right as it flashes, you execute a perfect dodge counter. The heavily timing-based system. You aren't just mashing buttons, you're watching the enemy, waiting for the flash, and punishing them for having the audacity to exist on your screen. I unlock a couple of skills, nanoblades, a ranged blade attack, and a blink strike, a teleporting ambush. I string them together, nanoblades, into a blink strike, into a combo, dodge cancelling out of danger. Then, my ultimate charges up. I hit the button. My character basically does Cloud's Omnislash from Final Fantasy VII. At this point, I am feeling like I'm the main character in Demon Slayer, except I'm made out of scrap metal and I don't cry as much. I'm slicing and dicing my way through a map, Japanese-style mountain map. I find a destructible environment hiding a secret path, which I respect. We love a game that rewards you for breaking things. Then, I stumble onto what looks like an unskippable story sequence near a black hole cave. I brace myself for a boss fight, but it's not a boss. It's a new character unlocking. Enters Iku. Iku is a heavy hitter, big, slow, a massive area of effect damage. And the core mechanic of Morbid Metal suddenly clicks into place. I can swap between Flux, my fast katana robot, and Iku, my heavy bruiser, in real time, mid-combo, by just pressing 1 and 2. This adds a massive tactical layer to the combat. Flux is great for zipping around and dealing with stranglers, but then an elite enemy shows up, or I need to clear a tight crowd, I swap to Iku. I hit his ground cleave and launch them into the air and smash them back down. Iku feels noticeably heavier. The weight of his attacks is distinct. Developers nailed the class identity here. It's not just a palette swap, it's an entirely different philosophy of violence. The Meat Tree, the rogue-lite loop. So the button fills is snappy and the character swapping is great. But what about the progression? This is a roguelite. Our objective is to survive and upgrade. After clearing zones, you get to choose between different routines or upgrades. Do I want a bleeding effect on my attacks, a summonable drone, or a crushing counter? I test the drone, it's okay. But then I get an upgrade for my nanoblades. Now, all my characters shoot projectiles after using them. I find a void drift in the middle of the map. It's an emporium, a shop. I'm down to 35 health after getting absolutely swarmed by 7 enemies in a large open arena. The combat is hard. Guys, if you get caught lacking, you will melt. I spend my nano chips, the currency I've been hoarding, to buy a full heal. But the shop also sells universal and character-specific upgrades. I find a golden tier nanoblades upgrade for Flux. I buy it. I upgrade my drone. I stack another common nanoblades upgrade on top. And let me tell you, shooting projectiles like katana at Mach speed while dodging lasers and grappling across the map, it feels amazing. I face off against a large boss enemy. I'm swapping between Flux and Iku, dodging, animation cancelling, throwing nanoblades like it's going out of style. I finished the run with the triple S rank, and I sit back in my chair. I came into this expecting another flashy but hollow Unity asset flip, but I got one of the tightest, most responsive action roguelites I've played in a long time. If I had to describe it, it feels like a third-person Hades. The movement is fluid, the combat is heavily skill-based, and the build variety seems deep enough to keep the one more run dopamine flowing. Morbid Metal doesn't have the backing of a 1,000-person studio, but it has the one thing that actually matters: snappy button feel. The demo successfully leaves you wanting more, and honestly, I'm going to be buying the full game when it drops. If you're tired of live service slop, just want to feel like a mechanical god for a few hours, go download the demo. Let me know in the comments if you managed to hit that triple S rank, or if you got filtered by the laser parkour section. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.